Hello and welcome. This is Saturday's news. In this edition, new beds for maternity ward, Corcoran aims for change, and NCD girls beat Goroka. Port Moresby General Hospital is working to increase the number of beds in the labour ward from 24 to 30. Health Minister Elias Kapavore revealed this was among measures discussed during a meeting with the Prime Minister recently. Port Moresby General Hospital currently has about 164 beds in the maternity ward, with 24 beds in the labour ward, 4 in the admission area, 96 in postnatal section, and 40 in the antenatal area. With this capacity, the hospital frequently faces overcrowding, with more than 7,000 women yearly having to receive their obstetrics and gynecology healthcare on the floor. Health Minister Elias Kapavore this week revealed that together with the Department of Health, the management and board of Port Moresby General Hospital, efforts are being made to increase the number of beds in the labour ward from 24 to 30. This means 6 new beds.
And all of this as a result of lack of birthing facilities in our health facilities in the 3 districts, mostly south, mostly northeast, mostly northwest. We are firstly we will increase the number of beds at PMGH to 30. That's happening now. At Motoria, as you know, there's a 2 delivery bed at Motoria, and I want to thank the government of Australia for supporting us having that facility at Motoria. For the first time, we have delivering outside the Port Moresby Hospital.
Minister Kapavore acknowledged the lack of birthing facilities in hospitals and health facilities throughout the city and assures that the health department is committed to working with the hospitals and their managements to improve their birthing services.
Also do similar arrangement at Gary Hospital. There's some renovation now taking place at Gary Hospital to also have in place some birthing facilities in that hospital. We're also looking at improving capacities at the 6 Mile Clinic. These are some of the things while improving the capacity of a PMGH. We are now working with the 3 districts to make sure that they have birthing facilities in some of our health facilities.
Meantime, PMGH has stated that in regards to maternal health care, they are working on plans to install modular delivery rooms and maternity wards at Gerehu Hospital, 6 Mile Clinic, and other clinics identified by NCD-PHA with technical and staffing support from PMGH, with only the complicated cases to be transferred to the Port Moresby General Hospital. Simbu Province has marked a significant step forward in the fight against HIV and AIDS, where key government and health bodies formalized a partnership through the signing of a service-level memorandum of understanding. The agreement is aimed at strengthening the joint decentralized management of HIV/AIDS response efforts across the province.
The tripartite understanding brings together the Simbu Provincial Health Authority, the Simbu Provincial Administration, and the National AIDS Council Secretariat, alongside supporting district-level partners. It sets a framework for collaborative work to streamline services, share responsibilities, and improve the delivery of HIV/AIDS programs in Simbu. As part of the initiative, Gumini District has emerged as the first district in the province to step forward, expressing commitment to establish a dedicated one-stop shop facility to house its HIV/AIDS program. This landmark project will be delivered through a joint effort under the leadership of local MP and Education Minister Lucas Dekena, whose district funding is expected to make this vision a reality. The signing of this memorandum is expected to spur similar commitments from other districts in the province, ensuring a concerted and united provincial front in the fight against HIV/AIDS. With Kumini District leading the way, the partnership signals a strong move towards decentralized, district-driven health interventions that aim to reduce the spread of HIV and improve the lives of affected individuals and families across Simbu Province. Jasmine Erojak, TV1 News.
Of the 8 women that applied for the recruitment of the PNG Fire Service, 6 were able to make it through and pass out with flying colors. The PNG Fire Service held a certification ceremony for them at the Sir John Guy Stadium yesterday, and they encouraged more women to join the service.
The PNG Fire Service saw more than 100 recruits graduated, and amongst them were 6 women that received merits as firefighters yesterday. Chief Fire Officer Bill Rue said the PNG Fire Service encouraged women to join the fire service and said through the recruitment, he saw women proved their hard work in a man's field.
Women firefighters have proven their worth and passion for the love of the career they have chosen to be fire and rescue service officers in the fire and rescue service. They trained aggressively, faced tough challenges, but they had overcome all challenges. And this also has proven to us that at all levels, women are quite capable of handling men's jobs. Accordingly, we in the fire service encourage women and will continue to encourage women to apply to become fire and rescue personnel. I am happy also to state that in the organization we have women who are meaningfully contributing in all levels, including the management level.
Rue emphasized the importance of having females in the PNG Fire Service and said they will work towards having more female personnel in the service. Devina Harigwa is one of the 6 new female firefighters, encouraged women to be determined to go past their limitations and reach for the stars.
As a female firefighter, I would like to encourage all the other ladies out there to also take pride and apply to such organizations like fire service or correctional service or defense or police. So it's not just meant to do such work. It's the call in you that you have the will and the courage to stand up and do what men can do.
Devina congratulated her cohort and the fellow women that made it through to be where they are now, official firefighters of the country. Jasmine Erojak, TV1 News.
Among the 100-plus firefighters who passed out yesterday was 19-year-old Michael Anthony Corcoran, one of the youngest to pass out in this batch. While he is no different to the others, his is a story of determination to make a change, and a change for the better. To reach that stage, Corcoran finds his strength and inspiration from his grandfather, Michael Corcoran Sr., who was the first Chief Fire Officer of PNG Fire Service. Proudly wearing his grandfather's badges on his uniforms, he explains why he chose a less treaded path like firefighting. Michael began his schooling years at Kimbe International School and later went to St. Joseph Najis College at Brisbane, Australia. He then returned and completed his final years of high school at St. Joseph International Catholic College in Port Moresby. His father was out of the country and could not attend. Michael's mother and sister were present at the graduation to show their love and support.
As soon as I had finished school in 2023, the recruitment of the fire service had come out and I had instantly put my name down. I knew that it was the place for me to be. Originally, when I was younger, I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps and become a policeman. But looking back on my bloodline, it's known and it's clear that I'm a fireman by blood. It runs in my family. Hopefully, in the coming years, not anytime soon, I'd like to take over the fire service and bring it to not just the best standards that we can get, but international standards, because that's what we deserve as Papua New Guinea. We're a great country and we're going to get greater.
Stay with us. TV1 News continues after the break. Welcome back. A few days after a courtesy visit to the Bomana Correctional Institution to shower the female inmates and the wardens with a Mother's Day cake, the Sanctuary Hotel continues to extend its kindness to a random market vendor at Gordon's Main Market in NCD.
Kathy Hooper, a widow of 39 years and a mother of two, hails from Karawagi district in Simbu province. She has been living in the National Capital District for the last 10 years. For the last 4 to 5 years, she has been selling vegetables, mostly lettuce, at the Gordon's Market. Though she doesn't have her own garden, she works hard to connect with those farmers who plant lettuce and buys it off them to resell at the market.
Market in Narplakeke and we market in lettuce. Lettuce and more line the garden line karikan, planena karikan and in buying the so century and more line and more one la regular customer but is like more mas and more sakamna. Well like bangkat wata okay kam early hours na to was and mipla ran na mipla kam kisim business so mi prepare na mi alert na mi amount of master pieces of vaccine then is putting down na again and misa market na like mi looking mo sem car come in and misa mamas because then one plus customer for me come so everyday life for me and me mo supporting me na mi supporting mo.
Kathy Hooper moved to NCD when her husband passed away to live with her brother. But with hard economic times, she has to fend for herself and not to rely on her brother, she says.
Now, I took a few minutes for me, another 7 and another 6 and through this the money, we plan making more same come for example, another customer too and come, all come and we cut, all regular customer or second come and we give him special one in yellow, respect and we
with a deceased husband and no formal employment, Upa depends on a daily market to sustain her small family, including her sister's 2 children and her mother. Coming into the picture is the Sanctuary Hotel, which has a culture of randomly rewarding a vendor from the market whom they frequent in terms of purchasing local vegetables and fruits. The general manager of Sanctuary Hotel, Isabel Peng, said mothers are the backbone of our families. Therefore, we would like to celebrate the hard work and dedication of one local farmer who we buy our product from. Peng said they are honored to give a special treat, a complimentary one-night stay inclusive of delicious meals courtesy of the Sanctuary Hotel. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
Turning abroad, chrysanthemums, carnations and roses are among the most popular flowers gifted on Mother's Day. But some Australian native florals are aiming to win an everlasting place on that list of favourites. A West Australia farming family is making a name for their everlasting daisies as an alternative to the short-lived varieties.
Fields of WA's wheat belt, something different is growing at Mobrop.
That's me sneaking a few hectares of land and squeezing everlastings in.
A crop developed from a fortuitous gift.
I got some seed in my past job from 20 years ago and we just threw it on the ground and see how it went, and it's just flourished since then.
Lucinda shares the name of her parents' business while her sister Zara has a product line named after her.
Zara's feeling a little bit down in the hierarchy because Zara's don't do as well as Lucinda's. So I'm developing at the moment Zara's Golden Everlastings again. And the crop is going to be amazing. So we're going to start harvesting the seed for that and start selling it in packets.
The everlasting daisies retain colour and shape once cut. Growing them at a commercial scale has taken years of trial and error.
The grain works on the theory that you blow the chaff out and the heavy grain drops. Well, I guess everlastings are a bit different. The seed is lighter than the chaff. So I guess we had to sort of try and work out how to reverse engineer it inside to make it work, and that's what we've done.
As the seeds dry, they puff up, indicating they're ready for packing.
We bought a packing machine which is huge, so we actually don't have the space at the moment in the shed for housing that.
As the business grows, one thing has remained the same.
So I'm just happy for someone to pick some flowers and get the enjoyment that we get out of them.
An everlasting approach to keeping the family farming.
The federal election was fought on many fronts, from housing and energy to cost of living and migration. But in some Western Sydney electorates, one issue loomed particularly large for many voters: the war in Gaza. While the government managed to successfully hold on to seats like Blaxland and Watson, a closer look at the numbers show Labor has new competition.
Smiles and nervous laughter in Maryland's on election day. But beneath the surface, a fierce competition for the seat of Blaxland was reshaping the margins. Education Minister Jason Clare was fending off Muslim vote-endorsed candidate Ahmed Auf. The Muslim vote accuses the government of complicity in the destruction of Gaza.
The numbers that we saw for independents in Blaxland and Watson were really strong for independents.
Ahmed Auf dominated in suburbs like Guildford and South Granville with just over 45% of the primary vote. It was even higher in Auburn. Overall, he secured more than 20% of the primary vote, biting a healthy chunk off the Labor and Liberal margins. The same happened in Watson, with Dr. Ziad Bassiouni picking up 15% of first preferences.
So I think this is the kind of insurge that you'd expect to see over 4 or 5 election cycles.
At first glance, the results may seem unchanged. Labor maintains both seats, but others are interpreting the results differently.
The community has voted, and it's voted to reject Labor effectively. These are not passive voters. They're active voters who voted to basically reject their stance on Gaza, on Palestine, their weak stance.
The Greens more than doubled their Senate vote in Blaxland and made big gains in Watson too.
Muslim, migrant, multicultural communities have really backed the Greens at this election because of a strong stance against genocide.
The electorate's pretty sophisticated. It's a conundrum for Labor and for the Liberals.
One they may have to contend with again 3 years from now.
An Iranian refugee has lost his bid to sue the federal government for mental injuries he suffered while held in immigration detention for 5 years. Payam Sadat was detained in Western Australia and South Australia after arriving on Ashmore Reef in 2000.
A difficult day for Iranian refugee Payam Sadat after losing his bid to sue the federal government over alleged mistreatment in immigration detention.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, but this is the decision. I have to respect that.
Mr. Sadat launched a case against the federal government in 2021 over mental injuries he says he suffered while held in mainland detention for 5 years.
I didn't expect this result, but it's happened.
The Iranian refugee arrived on Ashmore Reef in 2000 after a 29-day journey by boat. He was detained at Curtin in Western Australia for 2 years and then Baxter Detention Centre in South Australia for almost 3 years.
It's the worst time in my life, but I can't just tell you what happened over there. It's very bad.
It was a time when protests broke out at detention centres across Australia, with detainees alleging mistreatment in what they labelled as an inhospitable and overcrowded system. Mr. Sadat's lawyer told the court during a trial in 2021 that his client was forced to flee Iran after he was detained, tortured and physically abused. He said that the government was on notice that his client was a vulnerable person and that he should have been treated more carefully while in detention. Speaking outside court today, Mr. Sadat's solicitor says he's yet to read the 600-page judgment, which is yet to be released to the public.
So we will take time to review the judgment of Justice Stanley and we will consider an appeal.
But for now, his focus is his client.
We'll continue to stand by our client Payam and try and help him navigate his way through this difficult journey for him.
The Supreme Court will publish the reasons for judgment next Friday.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The NRL Academy National Schools Rugby League competition witnessed intriguing grand final performances at the National Football Stadium today in Port Moresby. In the Year 7 to 8 division, the Central Schoolboys beat the Lay side 19-14 to snap the title, while in the Year 9 to 10 division, the NCD boys defeated Lay 14-12 in a close encounter to claim the title in this division. Goroka and NCD schoolgirls squared up in the Girls Open final to round up the grand final matches, with NCD beating Goroka 8-4. NRLB Pathways manager Joe Grima was pleased with today's performances and is hopeful for a good future for rugby league in the country.
Football in the first and second game. We're completing at over 80% in completion rates. So the fundamental skill that we've been encouraging and teaching in our academy programs is starting to come to fruition. Exciting. Rugby league is playing in a really good fashion, and I just can't wait to see what the next 12 months, 2 years brings to this wonderful country with rugby league.
The Board of Control for Cricket in India has suspended the remainder of the ongoing TATA India Premier League 2025 for 1 week with immediate effect. The suspension follows the ongoing conflict between India and Pakistan. The decision was taken after due consultation with all key stakeholders, following the representations from most of the franchises who conveyed the concern and sentiments of their players, and also the views of the broadcaster, sponsors and fans. While BCCI responses full faith in the strength and preparedness of India's armed forces, they also considered it prudent to act in the collective interest of all stakeholders. And that's the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern Port Moresby, cloudy periods with possible afternoon rain and thunderstorms and potential of flooding. Momase, Lay, partly cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Buka, cloudy period with possible showers and thunderstorms. And Highlands, all centers, cloudy periods with rain and potential of flooding. That ends the news this Saturday. Thanks for your company. Good night.